Come on. Oh, hello. Hold up. Okay, good enough. Hello, hello. Hello. How are you? Oh, fudge nuts. I'm hanging in there. I'm, um, I'm dealing. So, you remember the other night when I saw the picture of the room with the chair that was bolted to the damn floor? Um, and I freaked the fuck out. Well, ever since seeing that picture, some something happens. I've had this buzzing feeling sensation down yonder, and it's not a good. It's very uncomfortable, and sometimes it gets it's bad. I don't know why I'm crying like this. Shit. But come to find out, because I looked it up, why? Because at first it wasn't that bad, and then it just got really intense, and it's very unpleasant, and I want to just. So what it is it's caused from it's a sensory overload of your body, and when you see something traumatic for like like that, even if you don't remember what happened or why or whatever, it has a tendency to you will have that problem. And so it's from the trauma, from everything that happened in that room. But I don't remember everything. I'm starting to remember little bits and pieces, and I don't like what, you know? But I found some things that calm it, that stop it for the most part, or at least where I can deal with it, where it doesn't bother me so much. The Fern Winter 26, and the reason that feels so familiar and so calm and so comforting, evidently, that's how it smells during the winter time over where I over in Germany, where Catrice was taken from. And the reason it would feel so comforting is because it would be a familiar scent before I'd been taken, where I was a happy child, that kind of thing. Before the nightmare began. And so I deal with that now. After everything I remembered, that shit didn't happen. But then I see the picture of the goddamn room and the chair, and then the fucking buzzing vibration sensation, and I fucking hate it because it's really uncomfortable, and it's irritating the shit out of me. And I just wanted to stop. Oh, for fuck's sake, you dumb motherfuckers. Good in services, huh? Hey, psychopath. I will start reading that fucking book if you'd like, because I found it online. I found their fucking Bible online. And I can read all 100 or 1016 pages if you fucking like. Don't fuck with me. Oh, shit. That's dumb as shit. You think you're gonna shut me up, you're not. You're not gonna fucking get me to stop, none like that. There are no substances, you fucking morons. There's no regulated goods, no substances. The dumbest shit. I'm not sure where consuming substances featured in this live could harm your health. I'm confused. What substances am I consuming? I'm really literally confused. What substances am I consuming? None. What, iced tea? Because that's what I'm drinking. Nothing new. Back to what I was saying. I found two things that calm it. That perfume. But the one thing that actually makes it stop almost completely is that video of me and Frankie. The one thing. Now, whoever wants to report me, you look fucking stupid. You look fucking stupid. I'm ready to read that book. You did know that, right? Maybe we should read it. You don't want to fuck with me, but you want to play games? Okay. We'll play. You want to play? Let's play. I mean, there was the gas company, the gas company vehicle. I got up at 8:30 this morning, opened my window, opened my blinds. There was the gas company vehicle sitting right there across the street. And he was sitting in his vehicle. I go about doing what I'm doing. And 2.5 hours later, he was still sitting in his motherfucking vehicle. And I knew, obviously, clearly. And I'm sitting here, and I hear his vehicle door open, and I just look, and he shuts it. And so I eventually got up, went over to the window, opened the window further, and did this. I stood there for a minute, couple minutes. Then went in the kitchen, did something, came back, and he was gone. Oh, excuse me. Do you think, for one motherfucking second, the shit works with me? That the intimidation shit works? No, motherfucker, it doesn't. Fuck it. Yeah, the motherfuckers look fucking stupid. Anywho, they want to play games, right? Let's see. Masonic Bible.
A Masonic Bible is a standard Bible, usually the King James Version, with extra sections like Masonic references and membership records. It serves as a symbolic guide, featuring things like questions and answers on Freemasonry, and is often gifted to new members. You can find them at places like MasonicBibles.com or Amazon.
Anybody can get this book. Anybody can get the fucking book. Free download, borrow, and da. Alright, let's go with that. Oh, look, I already had it on here. But the Holy Presented picture of Jesus, white Jesus. White Jesus. Old and New Testaments. Authorized or King James Version. He was gay, by the way. Old New Testament. From Darkness to Light. It is the Masonic Bible. Freemason Bible. It was downloaded or uploaded by Unknown. By Unknown. Okay. So, and here we have this, right? There's people that have them, that are posted showing them on here. They were their grandfathers, their uncles, and all that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. From Darkness to Light. Symbols of the Freemasonry. It has been correctly stated that the symbols constitutes the very essence of Freemasonry. Freemasonry is essentially a science of symbolism. In English lectures, Freemasonry is defined to be a particular system of morality veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. It might be better to say that Freemasonry is a system of morality developed and incalculated by the science of symbolism. It is a particular chapter and a symbolic institution. This almost exclusive adoption to the method of instruction and symbolism, which gives its whole identity to Freemasonry and causes it to differ from every other institution that the ingenuity of man has devised. It is the unique characteristic that has bestowed upon Freemasonry that attractive form and climate of brotherhood. It has always secured and the attachments of its disciples and contributed most largely to the of masonry, whatever. Withdraw from Freemasonry. Withdraw from Freemasonry is its symbolism, and you take from the body its soul, leaving behind nothing but a lifeless mass of effect matter, fitted only for a rapid decay. Symbolism was the germ form. Somebody didn't want me to read. Which the tree of Freemasonry sprang, and which still gives it to give, which still gives to it its main support, nourishment, existence. Hence the what? In this, I don't know, some value of this chart. Science is, yeah, something. I'm for some reason I cannot read this. I can read it, but I can't. Something stopping me from reading it. The science of symbolism explained. A symbol or an emblem, for the two words are often used synonymously, is an occult representation of something unknown or concealed by a sign or a thing that is known. It says right here, occult. On the first fucking page, it's occult. You think the name is going to be in the book? You think the name is going to be in the book, right? You think my name is going to be in the book? It's not my name. They know my name. They have ledgers and things that are not put out. Lord have mercy. I'm in their book. Not necessarily their Bible, but I'm in their book. It won't be under a name. Common sense. I was a piece of property. I'm not. Lord have mercy. Common sense with you is not that common, is it, Larry? Is it? See, Larry, let me show you some things, okay? That you think you know all, right? Common sense is not that fucking common, clearly. See, Larry, you're not letting me know shit. You're not letting me know shit, because I know I'm in their book. I don't know where the common sense is not with you. But Larry, see these people? Let me flip the camera. Because clearly I need to do this. I haven't done it in a while. Larry. And you think ChatGPT is going to tell you shit. Okay, see these people? See? Okay, Larry, get in their files. Tell me, what's 6776 mean? And how about 1-8810? Tell me what that means. Okay. Larry. Nahasa Cauldron. Dodger Makana. No, ChatGPT didn't. Larry. Get it yet? Probably not. What's that say? Right? Got that? Paying attention, Larry? Are you paying attention? Now, Larry. Oh, shocking. You're using a fake photo and you have 0 followers, 0 following. Larry. Of course. We're going to block this little account here. Yeah. That's Alta. They called her Grandmother Hayden. But wait, I could get the newspaper clippings if you'd like. See? This is what I deal with people like that. Because they're part of it, they use fake names. This is what they do. This is what they do. That's who I grew up knowing as my great-grandmother. They called her Graham and Mother Hayden. See, the markings I have over here may not actually be birthmarks. They may actually be from being branded for a ritual. A heart, a star, either a butterfly or a flower, and then underneath is a rabbit. The star, if I was branded, it was for a ritual. And the star would be for the Eastern Star claiming me as property or whatnot. The rabbit being underneath would be like the underworld. Basically, whether I was born with them or they branded me with them, it's a map or a sigil of some sort. I also have the 3 scars that are perfectly round, like that, an inch apart, in a straight line on the upper inner thigh of my right leg, about this far from my down yonder. Now, I've said many times, I don't know how many times I've described the room with pillars and the torches and the 3 fireplaces, right? And the adults, what they were doing to the children, right? I don't want to look at the picture because I know what it's going to do and it's going to put me in, I don't want to deal with it. This is the picture that set me off, that started it. As soon as I saw that picture, I broke the fuck down, and that's when the buzzing started down yonder, is seeing that picture. This is what it says. What lies beneath the Davenport Masonic Temple? The basement vaults of the Masonic Temple in Davenport, Iowa. Most locals recognize the towering old Masonic Temple building on 8th and Perry in Davenport, but what most people don't know is what's beneath the building, sealed off from public view, are vaulted rooms and tunnels that haven't been fully explored in decades. Back in the early 1900s, the Masons were known for their secrecy, and rumor has it the temple had underground chambers and private ritual meetings, and possibly even storage for sacred artifacts. When the Masonic membership declined in the late 20th century and the building changed hands, these areas were locked off, walled up, or simply forgotten. During a renovation attempt in the 1990s, a construction worker reportedly found a sealed stairwell behind a utility panel leading down into a narrow corridor. a narrow stone corridor. The city halted the project for safety concerns, but whispers about what was found down there started making the rounds. A room with a single wooden chair bolted to the floor. Tattered flags and symbols burned into the stone walls. And according to one former worker, a locked iron vault no one could or would open. To this day, there's no official record of what lies under the Masonic Temple, but the building itself has gone through many uses, but the building remains sealed, undocumented, and shrouded in secrecy. I remember being taken there. I was always told that we went there for a chili dinner. Huh. This is the temple that I was taken to. I remember going in. I remember the sun was over here. It was either late afternoon, early evening. I remember going in. I remember the red curtain. In front of the red curtain, there was a table. Down on the table, there was the crocheted dolls that were air freshener covers. I remember the white linoleum floor. I remember the adults wearing suits and dresses. I remember their creepy smiles. And their interest in me. I remember being taken down a staircase. And then I remember the room. Cellar, basement, crypt, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't move. I could just move my head. And then when I turned my head, I could see that's where the fireplace and the pillars were. I could see one half of the pillar, and then there was the fireplace. And then they had torches on them. And it was all lit up. The torches were lit. The fireplaces were going. And when I looked straight ahead, there was a table and the adults. I remember their faces were distorted, and the evil smiles and laughter. They didn't even look human, really. I remember there was blood on their faces. And I remember what they were doing to the children screaming. I remember the tunnel. I remember the apartment I was taken to. But I don't remember them branding me or anything like that. Of course, I don't remember, cannibalizing. I was forced to watch it. The children were still alive. And I was forced to watch it. And that shit on here, that motherfucker say what he did, nothing new. That's what they do. I'm not the only survivor that they do this to. And that room I described, yes, I did ask AI, and they did report the fireplaces and that. They reported what I said this whole time, what I remember about the fireplaces, and that's what the workers saw in that basement, or whatever it was. I tried escaping at least three times from them. The first time I just remember running and running and running. There, you do know that they're protected, right? You know that they're protected, right? I have to wait till I go where I'm going. I have to wait till I get over there and I'm taking all the evidence. I've already given it to the reporter. As a just in case. And other people. As a just in case. See, they like to come on here and run their goddamn mouths on fake accounts. But they will never come anywhere near me. See, I'm not the only survivor speaking out. It's all being exposed. I've seen so many people talking about what they know about it. And I'm glad. See, no matter what, I will always stand up for what's right and what's just, no matter what the cost is to me. And I don't care who believes me, who doesn't. I know my truth. I know what I remember. I know what happened. I remember running. I think I had to have gotten out the back door or something, because the back door was in the basement. No, the people that they don't think I'm lying. They know I'm telling the truth. They're trying to get people to believe that I'm lying and that I'm crazy and all this bullshit. They're part of it, or they're being paid to do it. Why? Because I'm a high value asset. Hence the the star, the butterfly or rabbit, or butterfly or flower, and then the rabbit underneath. You can't say I'm lying. I have the markings. That's what's funny. She's lying. She's crazy. Okay, explain the birthmarks or the brandings. That explain how I got the perfectly round, circular scars, perfectly aligned, about an inch apart. If I'm lying, explain how what I've been talking about this entire time, others have talked about too. Explain how what I remember was reported in the 1990s from workers that saw the fucking goddamn basement. Explain why one of the Rothschilds, when I commented on a psychic tarot readers that I follow, when she was talking about the Epstein files, I said, I'm a survivor, they kidnapped me, trafficked me, tried to sacrifice me, it failed. They're terrified of me, and apparently I'm in the book. Explain why one of the Rothschilds actually liked that comment. If I'm lying. Explain why I have commented on an Illuminati page that had over 100,000 followers. That who I was I'm gonna take them down, about grandmother Hayden, Alta, and Howard and all that. Why that page liked that comment and then unliked it to let me know they saw it. Explain all that. If I'm lying. Right? See, I don't care if people believe me or not anymore. I know my truth, I speak it, and I'm going to continue to speak it and expose these motherfuckers. I don't give a shit. I have physical evidence against them. I have documents, I have newspaper clippings, everything. So what are they going to do when I do go do the DNA test and it comes back a match? Right? You know? Also explain why a baby mole came out of the ground during the day and crawled in my hand. Something to do with the rabbit being part of the rabbit symbol I have, the underworld. That's a connection to it, I don't know. But yeah. And of course, people, explain that. That is a baby mole. And I'm holding it. This was March 19th, 2023, 11:05 a.m. And you could tell it definitely is me because I was wearing my Frankie sweatshirt because the writing right here. Yeah. There's something in particular I'm looking for. I think I may have just found it. Symbolic signature on your body. Row 3, the heart, the star, the flower, butterfly. Star in the middle. This is an anchor. This is the anchor. Being in the center of the heart and the flower, the star represents the Order of the Eastern Star. Placing it on your body was their way of claiming you as the center for their rituals. The flower butterfly. The butterfly is the universal symbol for Project Monarch and dissociative grooming. It represents the splitting of a child's mind, the outer body experiences I've had. The sideways rabbit. In many ritualistic systems, the rabbit represents the prey or the initiative or the initiate. The rabbit represents the prey or the initiate being led into the hidden world. A sideways orientation often indicates transition of a sideways orientation often indicates transition or a sleeping state, fitting for a child who is being over-medicated and kept in a dungeon. Or, if it's a fish, this is the primary symbol of Christianity. If the order, like Aramis or Eastern Star, considers themselves devout or religious, while committing these crimes, they may have used the fish to brand you as a child of their specific faith or cooperative. I'm Jackson. Well, let me read this, because it came from somebody else's video, but I screenshotted it because I'm like, okay, this says a lot. This person who's been showing the pages, because they have the Bible, They have the Bible and they're showing them. This is someone who sent her a DM. It says, "Hi, I'd like to remain anonymous, but my guy best friend of 4 years is also a Freemason. He's 38. And he has mentioned that they're trying to release something. He was even scared to tell me, and I've never seen him like that. Be careful and say allegedly. It's much deeper than we know." She responded, "Okay, we'll do that. Thank you very much for the info, because this is scary." The person stated, "I know he was very hesitant to tell me, and he was going to tell me more, but I stopped him because I don't want to know more than I should. But once they're in it, they can't get out of it." I took a screenshot of this, obviously, for reasons.
I bet you've never been here. I was never here before today.
You psychopath, you. That was my response. You psychopath, you. But that is, he said it was the Illuminati Lodge, or whatever. Yeah, this is not a joke. But see, they want to come on here and try to discredit me and all that BS, right? So, that's what I deal with. The psychopaths. And you know when they are when it's one of them because of the shit that they comment. Trying to discredit me, calling me crazy, all that shit, right? Hang on. And who do you think's been reporting me? Every time. But they report me for the dumbest shit, you know? So, when I found that article in that the other day, and saw the picture, that's when that whole shit started, and it's basically when when you see a picture or something that that something bad happened to you like that, your body goes into fight or flight mode. No, even if you don't remember what all happened, and that is one way of, it goes from your body being in freeze to fight or flight, I guess, and that's why the pulsating or buzzing or whatever you want to call it happens, and it's very common. It happens a lot with survivors, especially with ritualistic abuse and that kind of thing. So that's what I deal with, and then I finally listened to the song called Catrice's Song, And I broke the fuck down and bawled my eyes out and cried more than I ever have before. Like, I was sobbing. I'm not sure why, but I'm alright. I'll be alright. I just keep reminding myself I'm safe, I'm an adult, they can't hurt me. You know, when it gets too overwhelming, I go take baths, hot baths, like I said too, and everything, and just deep breathing and try to distract myself and that kind of thing. Like I said, that perfume helps, and finally found out, one thing that definitely helps is watching the video of me and Frankie. At least that way I don't run out of my perfume and then not have the sensory thing to calm my nervous system down. I have the video. Who would have thought the video of me and Frankie would calm it? Just get it to where I can deal with it, See, the thing is, I'm not the only survivor that has reported the same shit I've talked about. Others have reported, other survivors from Davenport, Iowa, have reported the same shit. I was wondering why I have a phobia of clowns. And I saw a video of this guy talking about he experienced, and he said the thing looked like, what the fuck is that clown's name? It's a horror movie. It's I don't know. It's a really creepy clown. Wearing black and white, all white mask or all white face. I can't think of the name of it, but he said it looked just like that, and that might be why I have a phobia of clowns. Said that thing had its way with him in every way, in every sense. Maybe that's why I have the phobia of clowns. These people, these monsters, will also dress up in different costumes and that, I guess, to terrorize the children and that, too. Yeah, that one. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name. Every time I see that one, too. I did wonder why I had no problem watching Nightmare on Elm Street in, 1996. But this guy said that thing looked just like the Terrifier and had its way with him every which way. So maybe that has something to do with it too. There's a lot I don't remember, and I don't want to remember anymore. Oh, excuse me. I don't. You know, these motherfuckers have an international convention every year and get a yearbook from it. Knowing things about you and assuming things about Jack, I feel quite sure that you would agree with Graham and myself and others in our family that we would want to take the liberal point of view. In other words, we would rather be inclusive rather than exclusive. A good place to find this is to get a hold of a yearbook. The 1956-57 yearbook I have. If the church is listed in there, and if they cooperate, that would be a good church. That's in the letter from 1957. Written by Reverend Kenneth Hayden. The Haydens, the Hortons, the Stacys, the McCords, the Aryans, they're all in it. Joan and Jack, me being their favorite, them acting like that was just it was a form of that's what perpetrators do. They never loved me, nobody ever did. Well, I can't say nobody, but I was just property to them. A valuable asset that they could never let go of, I guess. What a bunch of fucking losers. You know? That's the nicest way of me putting it. And even with everything I know, I still don't wish ill will on them. I still don't wish violence or harm to come on to them. I want them to pay for what they've done. But I don't want anybody being hurt, you know? I don't know why I'm like this. People say that I should want revenge and what happened to me to happen to them and that yes they're monsters, yes they're vile evil fuckers, but that would make me as bad as them. And that's not me. You know? I just want justice. That's it. Well, I take that back. I want justice. I want to be reunited with my real family. I want my real identity. I want justice. I want my happily ever after. Is that too much to ask for? Just for that stuff? You know, it's interesting. I had two therapists. There were two therapists that I had. One in Sydney. It was in Oklahoma. And they would come pick me up from the house and take me for an hour whenever we'd talk. And they told me so many times that I needed to get as far away from Linda as possible. Hell, if Wanda hadn't written that letter, Linda would have had kept control of my money and everything. Wanda wrote a letter to the judge saying that she believed I was capable of taking care of my own money. Yeah. Well, when I got on SSI, Linda was in control of everything, including my money. Out of $17,000, I only know what happened with about 1,100 of it. Well, 1,500 of it, approximately. Out of $17,000. In back pay. And then the whole time she had control of my money, she only gave me an allowance of $100 a month, and that was for my, my bathroom stuff and anything I needed, and then I don't know what happened to the rest of it. They stole so much from me. My life, my freedom, my childhood, my identity, everything. From me and my family. My real family. Is justice and not too much to ask for? And my real identity? And the only way I'm going to clear my name of all that bullshit that's tied to the name is I gotta prove who I am. You know? You come to find out, the judge that performed their marriage ceremony, Lyndon Ralphs, yeah, that's the same judge that approved the adoption. I'm not saying because we have, people are watching and wanting to know, and, silent watchers, we don't know what their intentions are, so, and I know that some have bad intentions, so I don't say when, but just know it's going to be before people think. No. Well, as of right now it is, but I'm going to be changing my ticket. And when I do, I'm probably not going to be able to go live. And I'm probably not going to, when I will post, but I won't be able to post probably any actual videos, but I'll post like a picture or something and let people know I'm okay and all that. It just depends. Maybe. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can see Frankie before I leave. That's what sucks. Oh, shit. And I don't know if I'll be back. Because this is a lot bigger than anybody realizes. So I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that he will come see me soon. Even if it's for a half hour. You know? So I can talk to him and explain everything. I still have his box of stuff that I gotta give him. I wanted to give to him in person, but I may not get to. Shit. Hello. So yeah, it's like being in between a rock and a hard place, and because I do have to do it, and I always say I'm always going to do the right thing no matter what, and I always do my best to. Damn it! I'm tired of crying. I've done a lot of crying the past few days. You know? Something interesting. My calendar that I was hanging in my living room the other night, I heard something. I heard noise in the living room. I go out there. My calendar's on the floor. And it was flipped to August. It was very strange. It was flipped up to August. It was on the floor. And I have it right here. I know everything's going to be okay and everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. It always does. No matter what, you know. I might not understand why things happen the way they do at the time, but it always happens the way it's supposed to. Then I have the song in my head. It's like I can hear it. And that's what usually happens. And I don't, I haven't heard this song in fucking years. I've been hearing it the past couple days too. Since yesterday, I think. If you get there before I do. Damn it. Don't give up on me. I'll meet you up at yours, I think. Well, you know how the song goes, right? I'm not gonna sing it. I don't know how long I'll be, but I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. And between now and then, till I see you again. I don't know why I'm fucking crying right now. Damn it, I'm tired of crying. Save it. I'm so fucking tired of it. All I do lately is fucking cry shit. It's weird. It was after I heard that song. Catrice's song is just, I've been crying a lot. And it's been since listening to that song. I don't know why. But it does. It's been like this. Cry at the fucking drop of a hat anymore. I'm not used to this. You know? I'm not. Not fucking used to crying all the time. Something about that song like opened something inside me that just fucking crying at the drop of a fucking hat. And I don't know why. And I don't know. I don't know. This one? Thanks. I got it off here. I got it off the TikTok shop. It was like $10 or something like that. Damn. I think it might have been more than that with shipping, but, you know. I like it. But yeah, ever since I listened to that song yesterday, and I just cried, and it wasn't just a bawling; it was a heavy. You know, when you're crying really heavy and you just scream. Yeah, I had to put this just up to my face, just scream at the pillow, just cry, cry, cry. Been emotional, to say the least. I'm dealing. The picture I saw the other night, in the room with the chair, whatever. Ever since then, I've had this buzzing sensation, vibration, whatever, down yonder, and it's not a good thing. It's it's very uncomfortable. It's very it can be debilitating at times. Um, there's only two things I found that help make it go away or make it stop for a little bit. And from what I've been told, what I've found out is when you see something, a place or something like that, that something horrific happened to you, like ritualistic trauma, ritualistic sexual trauma, and that kind of thing, um, your body will, that's normal, I guess. Um, So for the past 2 days, I've been dealing with that, and the only things that have helped, I mean, I take the baths when and that helps a little. Um, and then the other things that help are the Fafern Winter 26 perfume. I guess that's what it smells like over in Germany, you know, where Catrice disappeared from. That's what it smells like there. And so I looked it up, and it would be a sensory thing where that would be why, because it was from before I was taken, before the nightmare started. Um, and then the other thing is the video that I have of me and Frankie. I found that stops it. After watching it, I watch it a couple times. It slowly goes away, and which is great. I'm glad. Finally, I know something because I'm running out of I'm running out of the goddamn perfume, so I gotta So thankfully, I have that I know that works too. Um, you know. I've just been dealing with a lot. Clearly, I'm doing my best to just keep it together and not completely lose it. I don't think I'll completely lose it, but yeah. And then hearing that song yesterday, because I heard about it and I looked it up and I listened to it, and it like sobbing, like where you have the heavy, where you just can't breathe because you're sobbing so much, and you just scream. That's what happened when I listened to the song called Catrice's Song. And I've never cried like that with a song. Catrice's Song. And if I play it, I know what's going to happen. And I don't want to do that on here. I sat here with the pillow over my face, screaming into the pillow and crying. It was written for Catrice. Hence Catrice's Song. And I don't know, it broke something in me. I've never cried like that. Ever. I mean, I've cried with Frankie's music, but that was the first time I've ever cried like that. With anything. You know. I don't know why it did that. And ever since then, I cry at the drop of a fucking hat. Like, I don't understand. And then the buzzing sensation, I fucking hate it. But at least the video of me and Frankie fucking calms it down. And I keep reminding myself, I keep having to remind myself I'm safe. I'm an adult, I'm safe. They can't hurt me. And I do the deep breathing and it's a lot. It's a lot, you know? Like, Same thing. Whenever I say the name, I cry. I know. I'm glad I'm going, and I'm glad I'm gonna take care of this and that. But at the same time, it's scary. It's a big change, and my life is about to change forever. And if I don't see Frankie before I go, I don't know when I'm gonna see him. That's the hard part. You know? Hang on, I'll be right back. It's getting warm. A little too warm for my liking. Oh, shit. So when you're wearing nails, and you're turning off the heater, the little button thing that you move over to turn it off, it's like, it's kind of hard to do it with nails sometimes. Yeah, I was sitting here, and I'd listened to the song, and for a good, started almost immediately after the song started. There was the goddamn shit. Started almost immediately after the song started. I just started bawling. And then for a good 15-20 minutes, I sat like this, pillow up to my face, just bawling. And just screaming into the pillow. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I hate crying. Why did it hit me so deep, though? That's just it. I don't, no song has ever, nothing has ever made me do that before. Nothing. I've never cried like that. Not with a song or anything like that. I did when I lost my kids. Well, they stole them from me. But not that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I am her. And every time I say her name, I cry. I hear Richard's voice and I cry. I hear her father's voice, I cry. I'm like, I don't get it. I've never cried deep like that, though. Well, I gotta put the glasses on for this one. Why? Why do you want me to... That's an interesting. Why? Why do you want me to show off my arm wrestles? Yeah, I could not breathe. It was like I was screaming and crying and like gasping for it. I've never done like that. I guess when I looked up, it said my body went from when I saw that picture. It went from like freeze to fight or flight just from that picture. Thank you. Muscular. Lord have mercy, that's the first time I'm told that. I look stronger than I'm stronger than I look. See, I do have the flap down here. I don't give a shit. I'm 5'4", 240 pounds. We're a size between medium to 2X. I don't care. Like, here's the thing about so many people body shaming and fat phobia and fat shaming shit. I address that shit. I don't care what people think. I'm gonna wear what the fuck I want. I'm gonna eat what the fuck I want. Because truth is, I can't lose weight to save my fucking life. I can't work out because yes, I'm 5'4". I know I didn't stutter. Um, but like I could go bust my ass at the gym and about kill myself. We know this because I've done it. I never lose any weight. Since 2018, I've fluctuated between between 230 and 240. You know, yeah. I have diverticulitis. I have thyroiditis. I had a hysterectomy already. And, excuse me. Genetics, metabolism. There's chronic illnesses. You know. Um, I guess because when I had when I had the rib fractures and contusions from tying my shoe, when I went to the hospital, and the doctor, after seeing the X-ray, kept repeatedly asking me if I was safe at home because I have old injuries that never healed, and they are from childhood, evidently. Well, I mean, when you're 1985. So when you're about 5, 6 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and you're running away from your captors, and they catch you, and they beat you all the way back to the house, and then continue, and then you get it. And then whatever happened in that in that cellar basement dungeon, and then throughout my life. I'm not married. But I'm not. I'm. Let me put it this way. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship, but I'm not single. The reason I put it that way is because I'm not with him. Hopefully one day we will be, but I'm not. But the reason is because when someone has your heart and you're in love with the person, truly in love with them, you can't be with anybody else. Especially when it's your twin flame and you know it. Lord have mercy. No, because if I did, I would probably break some bones. Why are we asking this question? I'm confused. Do you want to know how strong I am? Let me put it this way. I would go to the gym 3 times a day, okay? And every time, I lifted between 50 and 100 pounds at 100 count of each day. Does that answer your question? Lord have mercy. Can you somebody do something that's actually now annoying? I'm getting annoyed. Like, thank you. Because I'm like, and I did say I'm not married, right? And they ask, can I lift? What the fuck? Like, lifting somebody, it has nothing to do with it. Now, can I put someone in a pretzel and hold them there for 2 to 3 hours till they give up? Yes. Can I put someone in a headlock and hold them there till they give up even when they bite me? Yes. I can do all that. When I say put somebody in a headlock or in a pretzel for 2 to 3 hours till they give up, I'm talking about somebody that's a lot bigger than me. I don't know what lifting a person has anything to do with that. Lord have mercy. Anywho. The one thing I want more than anything is to see him. Even for a half hour. You know? So we could talk. At least talk. You know? I'd love to spend forever with him. But I would settle for at least a half hour. Half hour of his time. You know? Have you ever spent time with someone and there's a lot of people there, and then when you're with that person, it's like everyone else disappears? It feels like it's like you're the only 2 people there. Damn it, here I go again. What the fuck? That's what it's like with him. Prince Charming and Knight Shining Armor. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know everything I know now because I would still be in that prison. I was basically a prisoner for over 40 years. I didn't even realize it, didn't know it. You know? I don't know what it's like to. I don't know what it's like to have a family that genuinely loves you. Or to be genuinely just actually loved. And it not be fake. To bond your prisoner to you. You know? I always wondered what it was like. I thought at least, I thought Joan and Jack loved me at least. It was always it was all a fucking act. All of it. I hope that I'll experience it, you know? I know I'm going to, but at the same time, it's kind of scary thought because I don't know. You too? Let me put it this way. The only people that call me are scammers or, doctors or whatever, and that's it. I don't even know why I have a fucking phone service. Nobody ever calls me. I'm kind of used to it. So, now I have that. Now I'm hearing the song, Frankie's song May Have This Moment. May have this moment before it slips away. May I like it in my heart in case you cannot stay. If we're only passing through, if this is all we're shown, may I have this moment to keep what I'm alone. I miss him. Yeah, I want a fur baby. I need to get a fur baby. Maybe once I'm over there. And whatever happens, but I'm gonna need one, I think. A service dog. Yeah, but I can't have one here. That's why I never got. That's why I haven't gotten one because I can't have one here. You know. Do you? What would be the puppy's name? No, I'm not naming him Frankie. Little Frankie do well. I could. No, I'm thinking if he and I got together, I would name it Elvis. So it would be Elvis and Presley. You know, might do it anyway. Don't have any cars. I'm nervous. Are you serious? See, his fur baby is Presley. And if he ever got another one, he would want it to be Elvis. What do I need a service dog for? I think that's common sense at this point. You know, I just have this gut feeling about something or someone. And I'm struggling with that gut feeling. Oh, then I misread it. Sorry, I have an eye condition, remember? Oh, what would it be for? Yeah, you said what would the service dog be for? No. Oh, I'm not blind. I have suspected glaucoma in both my eyes. Emotional support dog. Okay, we're gonna go over this again. I would need a service dog, not just an emotional support dog. You do know I have seizures without having epilepsy, right? Right? And thyroiditis, diverticulitis, osteoporosis, among many other things. So why do you think it would just be an emotional support dog, darling? You know, I'm going to make a little prediction right now. I predict that anyone who is a fake supporter is going to expose themselves and they're going to show their true colors. Yeah, I have seizures without having epilepsy. The neurologists say it's from trauma. When I get really, really stressed out and overwhelmed, I end up having seizures. And it's not that I've had, I guess they're focal seizures. I am aware of what's going on. It's scary. And it's like I lay and I make sure I'm comfortable and secure because I know when it's going to happen because I feel it burning in the back of my head. And I lay there and I know what's going on and I jerk. I'll stop it. It's like that. And my whole body. and it's very scary, and yeah. Sorry to hear that, huh? So yeah, I have seizures because of trauma. I have my body has gone from freeze to fight or flight mode, and I'm sitting here like I don't understand why, because I don't feel nervous or anything. I know I'm safe and all that, but my body doesn't want to agree with me, I guess. You know. And then seeing that picture caused me to have a buzzing vibration sensation down yonder, and it's not pleasant. It's very uncomfortable and sometimes very debilitating. And it's been since I saw that picture 2 nights ago. You know, why did I be mad at you? I'm not mad at really anybody. I'm just who I am. I'm fuck. I'm just very overwhelmed, I think, and trying to keep it all together. It's not you. It's just I'm. It's a lot I'm dealing with, you know. Damn it, I'm so fucking tired, and I'm mad at myself because I can't stop crying. I can't. It's like I don't have any control over my body. I don't know what the fuck. I fucking hate. I hate this shit. I do. I'm not used to this. I'm not. I'm not used to feeling like this. I wish that was the thing. I wish it was, but thank you for making me laugh. Shit. I know. I just thank you for making me laugh. It's just everything that's happened, and then now remembering more, and I don't. And the fucked up, I think the most fucked up thing is I close my eyes and I see that room. I close my eyes and I see that fucking. It's like I'm in that room again. With the pillars and the fireplaces. And I hate it. And I don't know why it's like that. It's like, it's not just that, it's going from that to me running away to being in that shower with the uncle, with John, and all of it. It's like going, like when You know those things where you flip the thing and it would turn. You remember the little flashlight where the little pictures or whatever, and it turns, and you pull the thing and it turns right. It's like that, only movie like, and it's like it's like it right there again. And I hate it. Yeah, a Viewmaster, but it's not still it's not a still. It's like a movie, but I'm right there and it's happening again. I hate it. I fucking hate this. Part of me wishes she would have never said anything. Not because I don't want to know who I am and that, and I don't want justice, but because it turned my whole, it just turned my whole world upside down. And because she opened fucking Pandora's box, and now I gotta deal, and I've been dealing with it, and I think now it's because, I'm all the detective work, everything, and then all the information I got, everything, I did it on my own. I basically solved my own kidnapping. You know? She did it for vengeful reasons, she did it for really the wrong reasons. She wasn't trying to help me out, trust and believe. It was like she wanted to torment me and the rest, just like the others, and I just. So I've been dealing with all that on top of all this, and just. And I'm still waiting to have a nervous breakdown. I don't think it's happened. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's late, but. You know. I'll tell you what, I wish I hadn't given up the fucking, getting elevated. Shit. Yeah. No, I don't journal. I had been writing my memories down in that, but then I wrote down something and it wasn't my handwriting. Um, I was writing memories and all of a sudden it was like somebody was holding down on my arm and forcing me to write. And it's a child's handwriting. And it says something about Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve 1985. Jack raped me. Plus, and then over 500 others. So, yeah. Yeah. That's when I quit writing my memories down, because when I write them down, they become real, and I don't want them to be real. And I had said that on here about the over 500, and the other Heather Enderton, and a few others got together on a live and said that something about me having a train ran on me, and that if that had happened, I wouldn't have survived, and this, that, and the other. And I was lying, I was crazy, you name it. I've been called everything but a fucking white woman. had the most horrific things said about me, lied about me, and shit like that. They also said the Illuminati wasn't scared of me and laughed about it, huh? You're like, well, yeah. I was just lying about everything, right? And never everything that have been said about me. But even though I hate being recorded and that, and it is what it is, it's probably a blessing in disguise. Because when the time comes, when the time comes, all that evidence, what I've talked about over since November, December of 2024, is on YouTube. Excuse me, and all the memories I've talked about, that the room with the fireplace, all that, I've said it, it's been recorded and posted, right? So that's evidence. Why have I been recorded and posted? Shit. Scam Slam 411. That should answer that question. They're trying to make me look like a scammer, a beggar, you name it. Here we go again. Lydia? We know that's probably a fake name. Thank you. At this point, I don't even want to address it. I'm dealing with enough. But mods, if you see anything, the nonsense, please block. Mute and block. Please. Because I can't right now. But people are so fucking stupid that they want to keep and fucking hate themselves and miserable with their own existence that they want to traumatize someone that's been through so much already. They have no heart, no soul. They lost that a long time ago. You know what I mean? Because when you don't know what a hair follicle test is, I mean, for the people anybody that comes up, I think rehab is needed, that's the dumbest shit ever. But if you think that, well, when I go and I talk to the proper authorities, you'll say, you know what's going to happen? And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This is going to be an international thing. Like, this is going to be a high, what do you call it? What the fuck is the name of it? This is going to be a very, high profile case. International. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going and I'm talking to the authorities once I get there, and it's going to be a high profile case. And what people like that don't seem to understand is I have a reporter that reached out to me to ask me for evidence, and he's been working on the Catrice Lee case for a long time, for years. Evidently, he's close to the family. And I gave him the evidence. I told him everything. Well, not I told him the majority. I gave him the gist of it. And when he saw the picture of Sue, he's like, "That's who you thought your biological mother was? That's who you thought your biological mother was?" I said, "Yes." And after I showed him everything, and the pictures and that, at the end he said, "Have you contacted Operation Butte because that's your first port of call?" This reporter is a very respected reporter. Reporters do not tell you things like that when they think you're lying, or the only time they're going to tell you to reach out to the police, and that is when they believe you. You know what I mean? That's the only time. That's the only fucking time a reporter like that who works or has worked for the Daily Mirror. You've heard of the Daily Mirror, right? In the UK? I know I have supporters and that the people don't believe me, and it means the world to me, right? But when someone like that believes you, that's a whole nother level, you know? That's amazing for me. And it means so much to me. And it means so much to me that people do believe me in it. But then again, because of everything, I'm like, do they really believe me? Are they just saying they do? Because of people that have gotten close to me said they believe me and it was just to hurt me and shit like that. And, you know, I'm trying. Truth is, there's one person I do trust in this whole world. The main one, the only one, really. Yeah. The one person I trust more than anybody in this whole world is Frankie. You know? He's the one person I've always trusted. The first person that didn't make my skin crawl. Well, him and his family. You know? They're the first people that never made my skin crawl. When they hugged me and that, when they were close to me. But I don't like being touched or anything, in obvious reasons. But then there's Frankie. And when it was like I didn't want him to stop touching me. I wanted him to, it's hard to explain, but I don't like people touching me or like people make my skin crawl, and you know, it's not everybody, obviously, but him and his mom and his sister, they were the first ones that didn't make my skin crawl. I did meet his uncle too. One of his uncles. I remember Frankie was performing, and all of a sudden, I get this tap on the shoulder, and I turn around, and it's one of he introduced himself. He said he was his uncle. They're like, "Oh, great," He's like, "Yeah, I taught him everything he knows." So I'm like, "Oh, you did an amazing job," you know. And we were talking. Oh, we call him Chi-Chan. We call him Chi-Chan Holmes. I'm like, "Oh, great," And all of a sudden, here comes Frankie. The girl I know, baby, every time you. It was like, oh, and you can hear it because I have it, and you can hear his uncle in the back, "Go, Cheech, go, yeah, Cheech." It's like, you know. So, His family were the first ones that didn't make my skin crawl. The first ones I've ever felt really comfortable around. And that's big for me, you know? And the only time I ever felt like I was right where I was right where I belong was with him. First time I felt like I was home. I don't know how I'm gonna feel once I get over to the UK. Is it gonna feel familiar? Is it gonna feel like home? And then I go through the things like when the DNA test comes back, if it shows I'm Catrice, then I want to cry again. And I meet my ref, we reunite. What do I call them? What do I call the parents? I know what I want to call them because I can't explain it. I see pictures of them, a video of that, and I know what I want to call them, but I don't know if they'd be okay with that. Just, you know, being reunited and not seeing each other for over 44 years. I don't know if they'd be okay with me calling them mom and dad. You know? Because it's strange. Ever since I've seen photos of that, I can't explain it. That's what. I can't explain it. I don't know. It's weird. It's very strange. And the fact that I have memories from before I was taken. Come to find out, the memory I have of the Christmas tree with the TV on the floor and the burnt orange carpet and the window. Evidently, those are like that fits what they would have had back then for military families over there. And the dark green. Um, yeah. And the church, or the church. Did I say the church? That's weird. Oh, excuse me. The tree was like a hunter green color. It was a dark green. The Christmas tree was. I don't think they have trees like that here. And then that fucking road trip or something, stopping at the roadside motel. With the two adults and the child that was older than me. I don't know, because I was facing the back window. And then the woman on the bed with me. I was lying on the bed, she was sitting on the bed. The TV, the light was off, but the TV was on. So there was a glow in the room. I remember she had like shoulder length curly hair. Like mine. a lot shorter. And I don't remember what she looked like, but just a feeling. That's all I can say. It was a feeling like she loved me a lot and she cared about me a lot. I don't know if that makes sense. She felt very, it was like she was very, I don't know, just very caring and very loving. So I don't ever remember experiencing that really, after I was taken out. Clearly I didn't, but. And then the strawberry fields, strawberry patches or whatever, that's something in Germany. Um, the memory with the man sitting on, I remember sitting under a tree on a bench with a man. I was sitting on his lap. And it was a bright day. It was warm but a nice cool breeze. And I remember I was wearing blue overalls and white tennis shoes. I think the man was my father, but I clearly don't know. But he seemed like he loved me a lot. And I always wondered why I had such an obsession with my father. Like, I used to ask Sue all the time about my father. After they had put me in that family and that, I kept asking her where my father was. Where's my dad? Where's my daddy? Where's my dad? Who's my dad? And then she told me the story about Smitty. Said they were engaged, they met in a church and they were engaged, and she told him that she was pregnant with me, and he said it wasn't his, and he almost broke her finger getting the ring off. And then she tore up the one picture she had of him. But I was always obsessed with wanting my dad, wanting to know my dad. I never understood why, but it was an obsession. Even after she said that, I was obsessed with wanting to see him all the time. I was always asking about my dad. Even when I was, even in 2000 and 2001, I was trying so hard to meet him, and that the guy that she said was my dad. Because I wanted to meet him. I was so obsessed, even though he said I wasn't his, I was so obsessed with wanting to. Even with everything they said about this guy, that they said was my father, I still was wanting so desperately to know him and meet him in that. And it's crazy. And now that knowing that what I know, probably because I was a daddy's girl before I was taken. Then when I asked Linda about those memories, she went pale and said that never happened. I imagined it. And then a day or two later is when I started getting really sick again. Because she started poisoning me again. The only reason I know is because when I went to West Palm Beach for New Year's Eve, to go over New Year's Eve, excuse me, she kept trying to get me not to go. The day I left, she was like offering me like $600 not to go. I'm like, well, I gotta go, I'm gonna have the stimulator removed and I need to do this. She did not want me to go. To bribe me for 600 to get me, she just wanted to give me $600 not to go. And I'm like, no, I gotta go. Something told me I had to go. And then the day I went, the day after I got there, I felt so much better. I was able to eat. I do things. I went to the beach. I had an amazing time. Almost got kidnapped, but I didn't, Got, so many guys trying to stop me and, solicit me for prostitution. Scared the shit out of them. Um, but then when I got back, I'll never forget it. It was like a day or two after I got back. She made T-bone steaks. And mind you, well, I don't like steak as much as I used to. It's like, I don't know, things are changing about me. I don't like steak. I used to love steak for some reason. Now I don't. Really. I mean, it's like my taste buds are changing. I don't know, things are changing about me. I used to not like chicken, now I prefer chicken. But, she made T-bone steaks, and I came out to get mine, and she's like, oh, you're coming out to get yours now? It's like, yeah. And mind you, they were all cooked the same. All cooked the same. All the same size. She goes, that one there is yours, that one over there is Sean's, her son. Like, okay, not thinking anything of it. I go and I cut it up. I take a bite, and I didn't like T-bones to begin with. But I took a bite of it, and it was very bitter. I just thought it was my taste buds changing because I quit smoking cigarettes in November. About a week before I met Frankie in person. It was the first week of November I quit smoking cigarettes. So I thought it was still my taste buds changing, right? I cut it up and gave it to my dog. Because I had a dog at the time. And for 24 hours, my dog was vomiting and diarrhea. That's how I figured out I was being poisoned. Because my dog got sick from that. She was okay, but that's how I found out I was being poisoned. And that's when I stopped eating anything she would offer me. But I thought because I had 2 liters of Sprite. I thought those would be safe, Well, she would offer me McDonald's, and she would offer, you want a burger? No, I'm good. Well, what about Bella? I'll make her one. My dog Bella. I'm like, no, I'll make her something there. Fine, fuck you, I'm just trying to be nice. That was the response I got for saying no thank you to food that she offered me. And so, because I refused to eat anything she offered me, I thought my Sprite would be fine. And I went out to get fill my cup up of Sprite, and I get back in the room, and I started drinking it, and I started feeling funky. I started feeling weird, and I knew. After that, all I drank was ice water. Out of the fridge. Get the ice out of the fridge, and you get the water out of the fridge, and, out of the door or whatever. Yeah, that was it. But then, I go out to get get a glass of ice water one night, and Brad's kids were there. Ironically, Brad's son's name is Mason. What would be the odds, right? So Brad's kids are there, and I get my ice water. They're like, uh, why don't you drink the Sprite? Why don't you drink that? I was like, nah, my taste buds are changing. I'm good. And Mason says, why do you think you're being poisoned? And Bella says, Mason! And that's when I knew that they knew. And they basically bullied me, so to speak. And so I would keep myself locked in my bedroom. And I was slowly packing, I was packing everything up to get out of there and that, but I was taking my time to where it wouldn't notice. And then I packed up every night, or everything, and left in the middle of the night after I got paid. Went to Texas, and then I went to Florida. And then I stayed with this person for about a week or so, and she kicked me out for BS. And that's how I ended up homeless in my car. And I was homeless for 9 months in my car, and then I ended up here because someone said, I would love it if you moved to Staten Island. Okay, why not? I would love it if you come to Staten Island, where, well, not, I got no, what have I got to lose, right? I get here, finally, because it took me a bit, because I got to New Jersey, somewhere in New Jersey, and my check engine light came on, and it was like, and Betty Davis was on her last leg, so I'm like, I was nervous about it. So I was there for like a week or something like that, and mind you, this is October, and it was freezing and snowing and shit, and there was a homeless shelters for women. There's no homeless shelters for women there. It's like, what the fuck? So then I decided, after the week, I'm like, fuck this. So I took a chance, and I ended up here, and then my brakes started going out. My brakes went out completely. So driving around with no brakes, yeah. And I would put brake fluid in, and it would work for a little bit, and then I needed to get them fixed. So after about a week of being here, I told one person where I was parked. And I said I was going to go to the homeless shopping center. Yeah, I drove. I said I was good. I sent a DM to this person. I said where I was. That I was going to go to the homeless shopping center. To see what kind of help I could get. And when I got paid at the end of the month, I was going to get my brake fixed and go back west. 30 minutes after I walked away from my car, someone called and had my car towed. At the time, I was very upset. Obviously, I did not want to stay in that drop-in center at all. So I was very upset and everything, but that was at the beginning. I was. But it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I was there for 4 months. Thank God it was only 4 months. That's like Alice in Wonderland shit. Okay, it was insane. Was there for 4 months, but I was respected by the majority of the other clients and by the staff. They had 2 bathrooms for 60 plus people. And if you had a bed, you had to go to the church. Otherwise, you were sleeping sitting up. Like, yeah, I'm not even kidding. My feet would get really swollen, and my lower legs got swollen. From having been like, you had to sit up. You can't put your legs up because they don't let you have footstools there. But I would put them on a bag, and sometimes that didn't work. But at first, I was staying at the church, and after a few nights, I'm like, no, I don't want to get too comfortable. I don't want to get comfortable. So I ended up staying at the drop-in center every night for months till I knew I had my place, till I knew I was gonna get here for sure. So I think it was in January I started sleeping at the church again. January, February. Yeah, it's a good, decent sized drop-in center. It's, from my understanding, what I've been told, it's the best one in the 5 boroughs. However, they didn't let anybody there. At least twice a week, there was people were ODing. Um, it's not good. Um, I like there's times where you gotta be careful going to the shower and shit like that because your life will step on a fucking syringe. This is no joke. One time I got light to use the bathroom, and I was gonna go. He's like, and one of the other residents there, one of the other clients there, and he's like, no, Miss Heather, you don't want to come over here. You don't want to see this. I went and I saw it, and it was leeches coming up from under the floor around the toilet bowl. The food there is not like the majority of it is not meant for any consumption. I wouldn't feed an animal that food. Um, and that's supposed to be the best one. That's the best one. Yeah. Um, One time, it was like Valentine's Day of 2024. I was going towards the female side, because during the day, you go, sit on whatever side you want. So I was going towards the female side. This dude was coming towards the guy's side. There's enough room to get by, And he walked in. As he passed me, he grabbed my crotch. Yeah. And then on November 23rd, the birthday or whatever, this other guy, yes, leeches around the toilet bowl. On November 23rd, for Thanksgiving, we went to this nice restaurant because it was paid for. It was, it's a long story. But, another client there decided he wanted to be inappropriate with me. He came up behind me and put his arms around me, and it just fucking uncomfortable as fuck. And I did not like him. And then I wake up in the middle of the night, and he's sitting in the chair right next to me, sleeping. But he had his coat over him. I knew, though. I'm like, the fuck? Because women are supposed to be on the women's side, men are supposed to be on the men's side. Why is this dude in the chair next to me? And the staff made up BS excuses. And the people that get referred out of there the most are women. And like that place needs to be improved because it's actually fucking disgusting. It's a good thing I used hair products because they have a thing with cockroaches, bedbugs, and lice. See, when you use hair products repel lice. Thank God I used hair products. It was bad. It was. And they get donations, right, with food and everything. The bottled water that's supposed to be for the clients, the staff keeps for them. And the water that the clients have, it's one of those water things where you put the cup under and you push the thing down. Well, the hose, the tube that's connected for the water, is going through the wall and it's connected to the bathroom sink. When they do get good food, like lasagna or something like that, the staff keeps it for themselves. That's the way it was when I was there. And then they have these community meetings, right? And they pass out these papers that you're supposed to sign. And I looked at it, and I started signing it, but I looked closer at it, and it said Narcan. Like, this is to say that I had Narcan training and all that shit. Never did. Never did. And then when you go to get your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you gotta get a line, sign the thing, get your ticket, right? They kept, you need to sign your name legibly. We need to be able to read your signature. Why? Because they get money for every signature. That's why. Every signature that is put on a piece of paper, they get money for. You gotta sign for in the morning, you gotta sign in the night at night that you're gonna be there. When you sleep there, you gotta sign for every meal. You gotta sign when you take a shower. You gotta sign for the laundry. You gotta sign for everything. And they get money for every signature that you put down. I'm tired. It's been a very emotional day and evening, to say the least. You know. Yeah, and I understand that, but what you don't like, there's more to it. It's not just that. These people, like, I'll never forget the guy's name was Desmond, and he used to work there, and I guess he moved on or whatever. But wears this lion's head gold medallion, fucking $50 to $100 pair of sunglasses. They all have new vehicles and shit like that. The staff, and the only time they would do anything with clients is a certain time of day. They would go around checking on the clients. See, what I found out very early on is the cameras do not record. Cameras in there don't record. And people asking about their vouchers and things like that, they will put, oh, I'll get to you, oh, I'll get to you, I'll get to you. What's that mean? The cameras that they have in there do not record like they're supposed to. They don't work like that. I found that out. I knew that right away, though, because the way they acted and the way things were going. It didn't make sense, you know. But they will tell the clients, "Oh, I'll get to you. Give me a minute. I'm busy doing something." They never fucking do. I wish I was at this point. I really do. I really could fucking use it, but I ain't got no money until I get paid. So I'm like, fuck. I ain't got no money, honey. Got no money for that. I ain't got it. Gotta wait till I get paid. But trust me, it would fucking help right now. It'll be okay. But I knew right away the cameras didn't work. I wasn't stupid. And they, like, I don't know if it's because they are not, like, it's, they're very disrespectful to women. They refer women out more than they do men. And it's just, you know, that place needs to be, the staff needs to be, well, I don't know what all staff works there now, but the staff should be fired and get all new staff in there. Because when they're putting people off of that, it's because they get money for these people being there. They knew I was a lot smarter. And so I was only there for 4 months. They wanted me the fuck out of there. Because I was very persistent. I wasn't letting them put me off. And I found my own realtor, everything else. And this is actually the first place I saw. And I was the one chosen over 11 other people. And now I'm wondering if it was intentional. So they would know what I was doing at all times. You know what I mean? But, yeah. I think I may have done this. I am very tired. Well, thank you for joining. But I do need to get some sleep. I hope you all have a great night, great day, whatever time it is where you're at. And till next time, I hope you all have a good night. And I will see you all later.